In the present day, the Philippines uses right-hand traffic, RHT, on its roads. This was not always the case. Spanish-era historical photos show caramatas or horse-drawn carriages driving on the left side of the road. There were videos taken as late into the American era as the 1920s and 1930s showing automobiles also driving on the left. Left-hand traffic, or LHT, is actually a British legacy, and its origin dates back to medieval England. Travelers usually kept to the left, so that the sword hand, usually the right, faced oncoming people. This defensive stance even became law in Britain in 1835. It is but natural that LHT became the norm mostly in British colonies such as Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, and others. There are exceptions. Japan, partly to samurai customs and British influence during railroad construction in the Meiji period. Thailand, because it was flanked by British colonies Burma and Malaysia, and Indonesia due to the Japanese occupation in World War II. LHT was also the norm in the rest of continental Europe, until France, under Napoleon Bonaparte, changed it to RHT as a symbolic break from aristocratic traditions. The latter was spread throughout Europe during the Napoleonic Wars when France controlled most of the European continent. In the Spanish colonies, which of course included the Philippines, even after Spain had switched to RHT like the rest of Europe, LHT lingered because road infrastructure was designed for LHT. LHT continued well into the American colonial era in the Philippines, especially in urban centers. This despite the Americans having mandated the switch to RHT since it assumed control of the country in 1898. The continued use of LHT was probably influenced by the import of automatic vehicles from Japan and Britain. It wasn't until the onset of the Philippine Commonwealth in 1935 that the shift to RHT began to be more strictly enforced, largely due to the increasing number of American vehicles designed for RHT. In March 1945, a decree signed by Commonwealth President Sergio Osmeña mandated that all vehicles drive on the right side of the road. This was Executive Order Number 34 of 1945. The order was to align with international norms, except in countries previously mentioned, to reduce the costs of U.S.-made vehicles and to accommodate U.S. Army RHT vehicles. In the present, the importation, registration, use, and operation of LHT vehicles is prohibited by the 1988 Law Republic Act No. 8506. All but forgotten is the small historical bit of information that, as recently as the previous century, vehicles in the country actually drove on the left side of the road. So the next time you're stuck in traffic on EDSA, you've got a cool piece of trivia to think about. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more surprising stories from history. See you in the next video.